Okay, mic check 1 2. It's the Y2K collector, and I'm back to wrap up the most unexpected GameStop pickups of 2023. Now, I know GameStop has gotten a bad rap over the past couple years, and I know that they've been trying to dip their foot more into the retro space. And so there were some games that I was just completely floored to be able to find in person at a GameStop. And a lot of these games were in great condition. GameStop is known for selling games without their cases, selling you games in crusty envelopes. I even bought a few games from GameStop recently that I had to send back because they were buffed to death. They do get a bad rap when it comes to the condition of the games that they sell. But these games that I'm going to go over right now are games that I was just really shocked to still find in GameStop in 2023, just because either they're no longer in print, or they're just no longer being carried and they're sold out, or they're just really retro. So without doing any more jabbering or blabbering or wasting time, let's look at them. So the first one, let me go ahead and switch hands. So the first one that we're going to look at is Super Smash Bros. On the N64. This is a classic, man. This is where the Smash Bros. Saga begins, with some of our favorite characters, including Mario, Samus, Pikachu, Link, Donkey Kong, Star Fox. You know, some of those classic characters before they just started throwing everyone in Smash. This is where it all started, and I was never really good at the first Smash Brothers, to be honest with you. I wasn't a big fan of the N64 version because I didn't get an N64 until way late in the N64 life cycle. Like, I think I had gone through Super Nintendo, PlayStation. It was a while before I finally got an N64, so I was never really good at this one. My cousins were amazing. They would always kick my butt. But this was one that I was shocked to find, because this game has to be, somebody help me, 20 years old or more, 20 plus years old. I don't know. Somebody help me. Got at least 15 years old. So this is definitely retro for sure. Was shocked to find it at a GameStop, but was glad that I did, and I picked it up in a buy two get one. That same day, I also ran into another N64 gem, and that's this guy right here, Donkey Kong 64. Just another great platformer by Nintendo in the Donkey Kong franchise. This one wasn't that expensive. I don't think the Donkey Kong 64 games really have a lot of value. I think this is maybe like a $20, $25 game. But just, again, finding a Donkey Kong N64 in person in GameStop was just really cool to run into, just because you don't see it anymore. And both of these games are in like tip-top condition, so I was really, really stoked to run into those. Getting a little bit more modern here, we have a 3DS pickup. It was Zelda Link Between Worlds. I think you can still find this in a good amount of GameStops. But I was shocked to find this one, just because I don't see a lot of 3DS games. Well, I wasn't for a while. Now, what I'm noticing is that most GameStops, I guess they're being forced to put all of their retro inventory out. So I am seeing more 3DS games on the shelves. But initially, when I saw this, I was kind of shocked to see it and find it. And again, really good condition, complete in box. Complete in box on retro games is super rare at GameStop. So finding this in such good condition was really great for me. Same thing with this DS game, right? So DS games are even harder to find at a GameStop. They're even more retro. And 9 times out of 10, when you go to a GameStop, almost all of their DS games are loose cart, or they're in some type of envelope. So I was pretty stoked. I walked into a GameStop where I saw some Xbox 360 games, and I asked them if they had any other retro games. They said they had a good amount of DS games, and they did have a good selection. But on that day, Kirby Superstar Ultra was the one that really stood out to me. Again, complete in box, not in perfect condition, but again, by GameStop standards, I mean, that's not bad. Kirby Superstar Ultra has the manual, has everything inside of it, all the inserts, right? The cart is in pretty good condition. The cover art is in decent condition. It has that whole reflective feel. And Kirby Superstar Ultra is just a really good looking game. It's a fun one. It's an action platforming, kind of like hack and slash game. This is one of the more fun action-based Kirby games that I'm really into, and I love the pixel artwork on this. So I thought it was sick that GameStop still had this in stock, complete in box, good condition. That one definitely was a shocker. Now I'm going to go through some Switch games that are no longer on the shelves in GameStop, but I think they're pretty sick. Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity. This was all the rage a couple years ago. I don't really see this on shelves that much anymore. This one's getting harder to find, but I did find a complete in box Hyrule Warriors at GameStop, and I did pick it up as a part of the buy two get one, just because these Nintendo games, they rarely go down to like $19.99 or anything crazy like that. So I usually take advantage with the buy two get one or buy two get two, whatever the case may be. We've got another cool Switch game here, Raystorm HD Collection. This is a shoot 'em up based on the Working Designs shoot 'em up games that came out on the PlayStation 1, which would have been Raystorm and Ray Crisis. Those are two really cool shoot 'em ups by Working Designs, and I guess they got a nice little port over to the Switch with a nice little HD revamp. So I was actually shocked to see this on a shelf at a GameStop. These action, like niche action shoot 'em up games like these usually fly off the shelves. You don't see them in the stores for long, or the stores just don't get them all together. Probably because not as many people are into these types of games, but this is one that I was pretty shocked to see. Definitely grabbed that. Was glad to find Raystorm Ray Crisis at GameStop. Another shoot 'em up classic here. So the CKO Shooting Stars Alpha. You all know I'm all about my shooters, but again, you don't see this at GameStop anymore. And I'm pretty sure a few of these Switch games have probably started to go up in value just because they're harder and harder to find. But this one is really cool because it comes with a collection of amazing shoot 'em ups, including Strikers 1945, Strikers 1945 2 and 3, Dragon Blaze, Soul Divide, and Zero Gunner 2. So some really awesome and classic shoot 'em ups here, all in this nice little package on the Switch. And these shoot 'em up games are really cool too because they each come with like a manual. You know, not a lot of Switch games come with a manual, but these shoot 'em ups are sick because they come with a little manual that kind of help you, you know, see just some more details about the game. So I'm all about that. Definitely gives it that more old school vibe. So those are some Switch games. And then we have another Switch shoot 'em up here, R-Type Final 2. I did have the special edition, I think it's the inaugural edition. But they had this loose game here, not loose cart, but they had the standard edition. Was shocked to see this one. Again, these shoot 'em ups, these niche games don't stay on the shelves long at GameStop, or they're just not there. They just don't order them for the store. I guess they don't think as many people will be into them. So I was stoked to find these Switch games at GameStop still in 2023, just because most GameStops either they didn't get them, or if they did, they got limited quantity and they were sold out pretty quickly here. All right, we're going to switch over to the PS4. So this one is a recent pickup. I was pretty shocked to see Deception for the Nightmare Princess at my local GameStop. Whenever I see games like this, I just assume that someone came in and traded their PS4 and all their games to get a PS5, because that's the only way that I think you'll see games like these in GameStop, especially in this condition. So I only buy like a lot of these kind of rarer PS4 and Switch games when they are complete in box. And this one, not the best box, but at least there's no tears in the cover art. And this is one that you will not see at GameStop every day. Yeah, this is probably eBay only or Amazon only if you're trying to get a copy of this, just because I don't see this at most GameStops. But this is a cool one. I recently talked about this one on my channel. Was stoked to run into this one at a GameStop in 2023 because it's just, you don't see it that often. Here's another one you don't see often. Transformers Rise of the Dark Spark. Now, I didn't realize these Transformers games were kind of like going up in value the way they are, but I guess they're just getting harder to find. From what I've seen in terms of reviews, they're not the most fun games to play, but I don't see Transformers like that in GameStop anymore these days. And it's just like whenever I'm going in there, you know the games you're going to see. All that common stuff, games that are kind of semi-fun. This is one that I'm going to look into and see if the gameplay is as bad as people say, but I'm really stoked to have this one in my PS4 collection just because I'm really selective about the games that I'm adding to my Switch and PS4 collection at this point, just because there's so many games you can buy. I just don't want to buy the trash. All right, next up, Berserk and the Band of the Hawk. This one I was definitely stoked to find at a GameStop because I think the first copy of this that I bought this sealed online because I couldn't find it at like Best Buy or anywhere. So I actually ran into this game twice this year, actually, ironically enough. And GameStop definitely has it priced accordingly. I think this game, when you run into it, it'll be 45 or 50 bucks. But this is a really good hack and slash game. I like hack and slash. So if you're into hack and slash, this is a good one. This is one that you're really not going to see. I don't know if this is available on any other console than the PS4. So this is one that I would definitely keep an eye out for. Bolo on these ones. If you're at a GameStop near you, bolo on these, because you probably won't see these PS4 games every day. All right, we're going to start going back a little retro again, and we're going to talk about some 360 stuff. Now, we see 360 games at GameStop all the time, but sometimes they have those rare ones that you don't see. And Family Guy Back to the Multiverse is definitely one of them. I like collecting games, some of these types of games, just like I have Futurama on the PS2. Some of these games are cool. And Family Guy, like this, I know that they came out with a version of this on the PS3. These games have actually held their value, both the 360 version and the PS3 version. So when I saw this one, it looks like someone had it on trade hold. But when I asked if they had any retro games, they pulled this out, and I guess that trade hold was gone because this came home with me. And again, whenever I find games in this good of a condition at GameStop and the price is decent, or I could get it on a buy two, get one, I'm going to get it just because, you know, I know what I'm getting and the condition is good. It's complete. Again, all of these games are complete. I forgot to open the other ones, but I mean, as you can see, Family Guy, it's got the inserts, it's even got all that stuff. So whenever GameStop has stuff like this, I just assume, you know, maybe it's old inventory or something. So I snag these up. So Family Guy, running into that at GameStop was definitely dope. And then here's one for me, being a New Yorker, Def Jam Icon. So there's a number of these Def Jam games, Def Jam Vendetta, Def Jam Fight for New York. There's a ton of Def Jam games, but the Def Jam Icon is almost like the quiet sleeper of the bunch. Again, this is one that was released on PS3. They had this at GameStop. I took advantage of the buy two, get one. I think I bought 360 games for around 17 bucks a pop. So I got one of them for free. I don't know if this was a free one or not, but again, great condition. Like, again, great condition. Whenever I find a good 360 game, a quality game in good condition at GameStop, I'm going to try to snag it. The manual was in great condition. It was part of a buy two, get one. It was priced under, a lot of these games are underpriced at GameStop, because the eBay and like Mercari prices are a little bit more, but this is pretty much a fighter. It's a beat 'em up. You know what I mean? It falls in the whole Def Jam Vendetta Fight for New York space. It's another beat 'em up with a bunch of iconic rappers, but this one is pretty cool. Glad to have that one. And then another one I was shocked to find is Transformers Dark of the Moon. So again, these Transformers games are holding their value. Some of them are going up in value. I'm a little surprised. I thought these games would be cheaper, like $14.99, you know, $15.99. But these Transformers games are holding their value, and they're priced accordingly at GameStop. So this was one that I saw. But I think this one was $14.99 when I grabbed it. But I think it goes for like between 30 and 40 bucks online. Let me know down in the comments. I'm not sure. But this was one that I added to the collection. It's like one of those action adventure 3D games on the 360, but a cool one nonetheless. Glad to find it and add it. All right, we're going to round out these last couple here. So we're going to go to the Wii, and this too was a recent pickup. Again, immaculate condition, GameStop pickup. This is, again, trade hold. Be on the lookout for those trade holds, because I feel like someone in those stores are like holding on to the good games. But this is a collection of all the Kirby games, right? So the Game Boy, Kirby Adventure, Dreamland 2, Kirby Superstar, Dreamland 3. Like all these games are on this one collection on the Nintendo Wii. It's the Dream Collection, and this is the special edition. Walked into a GameStop, asked if they had any Wii games, and they had this chilling behind the counter. It seemed no one even knew this was there, and this thing was like mint, like almost brand new. Great condition. The manual's almost like never been touched. It has the game, and I think it also comes with a cool like little soundtrack. This too is one of the few Wii games that have held its value. I think the Kirby games, this goes for anywhere between like 45 and 60 bucks. But this was a really cool one to find at GameStop. Glad I found it, added it into the collection there. And then last but not least, this one was like probably the most shocking one of all, because I don't run into games like this for this console, but the Wii U, Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. I saw this at GameStop, and this game is actually starting to fetch a pretty penny. I've seen this game go for about $100 sealed. It averages somewhere between like 55 and 65 pre-owned, but this is Mario and Sonic for the Wii U 2016. A bunch of little mini games on this. And I'm sure this is one of the more fun games on the Wii U to play. These sports games and Olympic games are a ton of fun on the Wii U, and you don't see this that often at a GameStop. So I was totally stoked when I saw this and ran into this one there at GameStop, and definitely picked it up and added it to the collection. And I mean, right now, all these games and more you can definitely find at GameStop. Take advantage, see what they have there. When you go in there, ask if they have any retro games, see what they have, and just be on the lookout for some of these titles that, you know, you may not have thought about or heard about before, because there are definitely some gems for you. But that does it for me. I'm the Y2K Collector. Let me know what you've seen out there. Let me know what you found out there, or if you spotted any uncommon games at GameStop. That does it for me. Take it easy.